Where we are a small female, these machines aren't built properly for us. So let's take it a little bit more onto the front delt and just make sure we're really thinking about drawing our belly button to spine. I can see that you've got your hips tucked under here, but we can see the breathing is a little bit off, which isn't going to help you with your strength when executing the movement. So what we want to do is breathe into our chest as we lower our arms. Then we want to keep the belly button drawn in. Then as we push out, still with the belly button drawn in, we want to breathe out hard through our mouth, because that way we're going to be able to get a lot more power throughout the movement. From the bottom of the movement, we can really power up with a little bit more aggression. Good morning, world, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So we are 5 weeks and 3 days out. Right now, I have just finished my AM steps. I'm just about to go to the shop because I need some fruit and veg, which is something that I feel like we're always going to the shop every single day just to top up on things like that. That is such a bodybuilder thing. But hey, so yeah, about to do that. I've got a meeting this morning with regards to HECXTN. Client check-ins and everything have been done. Training videos have been replied to. So yeah, just going to get on with getting to the shops, get back, have a shower, all that kind of stuff, and then crack on with the day. But prep has just begun. Lol, I feel like we say this. Steps go up, prep has begun. Food goes down, prep has begun. Cardio goes in, prep has begun. Prep definitely begun at 10 weeks out. Now we're 5 weeks out. But it feels like it's really begun now. And I have just been to the shop to buy 2 coffees. And I am considering this is going to be a meal because today I have a 0 carb meal. So we're going to go into that in a bit. I can just see someone rolling past me, Mark, so let's say hello to him. Morning. Say morning.
Afternoon.
To YouTube.
I can't hear
Afternoon.
you, sorry.
I said say good morning to...
Say good morning to Kerry's YouTube channel. I'm out getting my steps because why? Kerry was on the walking pad this morning and I didn't want to wait. So here I am out in the fresh air getting my steps. I've done 28 minutes out of 30 minutes, so I'm on track for doing my 30 minutes this morning.
Good work.
Kerry? Where are you off to?
I'm good, but I've actually gone and got us coffee, so you can take that back. I got not 1 but 2.
What else did you get?
So what else? I got lettuce. I got carrots because meal 1 is savage.
Any extra almond butter, or is that my job to get that today? You forgot, right?
Completely forgot the almond butter.
Okay, alright, I'm going to carry on walking.
We're literally about a minute away from home now, so yeah, I'm going to head back. Forgot the almond butter, not going out again, that's his job. But yeah, time to get back and make this a lovely meal 1. I would say this is quite a sad looking meal 1, to be fair. It's, 100 grams chicken breast, and it is 5 grams of macadamia nut oil, 50 grams of carrots, and that is that.
We do have some clothing lines, so we work through Shopify, so we ship worldwide. Got some clothes, what we're trying to get rid of old stock to make way for new stocks. That's why I just thought I'd reach out to you and sort of get your take and see what's maybe possible.
Yeah. So I've had a little bit of look. I had a look at some of your touch points this morning, and I'll do a bit of more of a brand analysis. I've got quite a lot of questions for you.
Okay.
For both. Bodybuilding, hardcore bodybuilding, or is it anyone who goes to a gym?
So I would say anyone that goes to a gym. We're trying, our kind of brand aim is, down the essentials route. So it is quite simple and basic, and people will want to wear it in the gym, out of the gym.
It's the ethos of the brand, but also where the money might be coming from, because that will make the business cash rich, and then we can do all the other things that we want to do. So that's good. The fact that it's not just bodybuilding, it is anybody who goes to a gym.
So we had a meeting today with regards to growing our brand, HECXTN, and all that kind of stuff. So that was super interesting. We just want to make this brand big. We want it to have meaning behind it, and yeah, we're just ready to go all in. Obviously, there are quite a few different things from day to day that we do manage. So, a lot of the conversation at the start was also based on our structure and obviously being able to fit essentially all of the tasks that we want to do and achieve in the day, because it is a lot, obviously, being a full-time athlete, a full-time online coach, also having like sponsors, and nowadays having to be a social media queen as well, which is difficult to do everything. But there is enough hours in the days if you want something to work bad enough. So it's about essentially us doing better as things get harder, which it is hard to grow a brand, especially when it is new. There's obviously money to invest in it and risks to be taken and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, a really positive call this morning. Excited to get actioning some of the things that we have kind of taken on board, and excited to obviously take you guys along the journey too. Anyway, I have done the most stupid thing ever, so that's why I thought I'm gonna sit down with my camera. So I was just about to get some more steps because I have a massage today at 3 p.m. and I realised that my Apple Watch had ran out of battery. So I feel like it's probably shortchanged me of steps. But so yeah, basically I have no idea how many steps that I've missed off essentially, but we can't miss the steps for the day, thinking that I probably would have got some more. So I have to see that number hit 12k on my tracker. Otherwise, yeah, it's just not complete, is it? So essentially I've mugged myself off and probably end up doing more steps today. But hey ho, we move. As far as things on prep and how things have changed, basically nutrition has changed. Steps are still at 12k. I don't even think I've actually done a prep update, to be honest. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But calories basically have gone from 2002 on a training day and what was it, 1733 on a rest day, to now like 1800 on a training day and around 1500 on a rest day. So that does mean that there are some zero carb meals. The first meal was zero carb. The second meal was my buckwheat pancake, which I have showed on YouTube before. So that was good. Gave me a little bit of energy alongside the coffee that I did buy this morning. I did try and go for a nap today, but with the call that we had prior to that, there was a lot to take on board, and I felt just a bit anxious, a bit overwhelmed, and I tried to have a nap and could not. I am actually due one in the next couple of days, and that always makes me a little bit more anxious. So I think that was kind of a little bit of a mix of that. However, I've managed to just crack on with everything that I need to crack on with from a work standpoint, which is positive. And this month, again, so this is the third month now that we're coming into for my menstrual cycle, and there has been such a huge change with regards to obviously what I've done from a nutritional standpoint. I'm still running the low histamine diet because that cannot change for a long time, especially because we are on prep. But with that, I have noticed a significant change with regards to my menstrual cycle, how I feel, and the impact that it's had is just wild. The fact I'm still like functioning, wanting to even do a YouTube, all that kind of stuff, my mind is just in a different place. So I really feel like one of the biggest benefits that has come from following this nutrition plan has been that it has improved my monthly cycles, and this is going into the third month of this, and last month we saw a drastic improvement, the month before that, and obviously heading into this month being literally due on any day. I'm still having the symptoms at night, so waking up, hot sweats, a little bit of scale increase, things like that, but it's just my general brain fog and day-to-day functioning and not feeling quite as low. So that is literally amazing. So even if nothing else comes from this, which it is, we've already seen visual changes. My midsection looks a lot different from last year. The way I am digesting things is different in a good way. So I am positive about heading into this season, having obviously undergone for a long time now the quite drastic food changes. So when you do see my nutrition plan and things like that, which you will do over the coming weeks, I just want you guys to be mindful that this is my prep. This is what I have to go through with food, and it is very different for, say, example, my clients. There's a lot more like fun foods. They are obviously able to respond well to them. I wasn't, hence why with the gut dysbiosis, salmonella, and parasites, obviously we had to get that under control, which is a long term, you have to basically take long term action on that, which means that that does go over the duration of my prep as well. So obviously in knowing that, you're not just going to start adding in all kinds of different foods. We have to just play things safe until essentially I have a break in this season. Once my first run of shows are done, then we may be able to reintroduce things. But for now, because we are seeing such great improvement on so many levels, it would just seem stupid to make changes. Now, I am very much used to the way I eat now. I have way less like cravings. Just so many different things, if I'm completely honest. And like I said, I'm used to it, so it no longer feels like when I first jumped on YouTube it was like I can't do kind of vibe. Now it's like just a way of life, and doesn't feel, it just feels like my normal, which is obviously fantastic because I am 5 weeks out. I'm not experiencing any cravings or anything mad like that. And food is, for me, at the moment, since the changes, like pretty low. So, yeah, all is really positive. Anyway, hoping that my watch is going to have charged up because I have a Thai massage booked at 3 p.m. today. So I need to get a meal in a minute before that. I'm filming for Beyond the Stage tonight with Becky Clawson, which is exciting. So make sure you guys, if you don't already watch them, head over to Beyond the Stage to watch our weekly uploads. And yes, so with that, I'm going to go and actually make another meal and do the rest of the day until it's time to get a little bit more steps before the massage. Because obviously the aim is to have everything boxed off so I can actually relax when I get back. Just cooking some chicken at the moment, getting ready for my next meal. I'm still having the chicken breast consumed within 20 minutes of cooking, basically straight away, to be honest, because the longer that you leave it, the more histamine it builds. And obviously with what we're doing from a dietary perspective, we are trying to get rid of histamine from my body. So that is still stands, but this is my next meal. So 100 grams of raw weight chicken, 50 grams of lettuce, and 2 rice cakes with macadamia nut oil and 2 grams of salt. Now, basically, this morning was just chicken breast, carrots, macadamia nut oil. The second meal was 20 grams of almond butter, 150 grams of pumpkin puree, 50 grams of buckwheat. So that was a carb meal. First one wasn't. And then from here on, this is my final carb meal with 2 rice cakes and 5 grams of macadamia nut oil. But anyway, it's the final one basically before my evening meal around 7 p.m-ish, which again is the buckwheat that I did just say. From then on, it is carbless meals. So that is what I mean when I say prep has begun. The carbless meals are there. So it is exciting because I know obviously big changes are on the way. So yeah, excited to dig in and see the results across this week. I do get quite excited when it gets to this point of like pushing in prep. This has been a bit of a different prep where we obviously only started at 10 weeks. We started 10 weeks at 3,000 calories. So we are 5 weeks in and now we're at like 1,500. So that's a drop of like half, you know. So that is pretty crazy, but it's not a long duration at all, and we don't have that far to go, but we want to obviously be ready so we can cruise into the show, backing off of expenditure, increasing food, so obviously that helps with digestion, sleep, energy, all that kind of stuff that we need essentially to be able to bring our best look to the stage, and we always know this does work well, so the aim is always to be ready early. So I'm happy to be making these changes right now. Meg is happy. Like I said, we're really happy from the perspective of my physique. I know I've not shared much, but it is what it is. But we're happy. We're seeing massive changes through my midsection, which was our obvious aim from feedback and obviously just me looking and whatever at pictures from last year. So yeah, we're well on the way to obviously achieving that, which is exciting. And yeah, so it's just time to dig in really with prep and get skinless. So big time mug myself off, got this massage in approximately like 8 minutes and said that I would cook some mince for Mark, and obviously was running late doing other stuff too, which is fun. By the way, it's really cold, hence probably got red eye, and also hood up, it is freezing. Anyway, back to mugging myself off, behind by obviously having to or offering to cook and do some other bits, which like I said put me behind. And now yeah, I've got 4k steps left, which is not ideal when you're going for a massage and wanted them all finished, but regardless we get them done. And as much as I definitely walked around with, oh my goodness, that was pigeons. I walked around basically without any charge, so I've obviously got steps, but I don't know if you're like me, but you have to see that number on your watch say exactly what it should be. So I'm not going to say, oh, you probably got about 1,000, we'll take it off. I'm just going to get them done. But yeah, Thai massage I'm off for. And the reason why I like to go for Thai is because at the moment, touch wood, I've not got any real issues going on with my body, injuries or niggles or anything. So I don't feel like I need, you know, like a proper sports therapist or anything like that. But what I do find is having Thai massage, I'm able to recover really, really well because they don't go too hard. And obviously sometimes if you have a sports massage and they go too hard, which luckily the people I use do not, but it does leave you walking out of there feeling a bit beat up, and then recovery is essentially slower because of that. So if you do have regular massage, I would always suggest making sure that the person that does treat you does not go too hard, because yeah, you want to recover at the end of the day. So yeah, Thai massage allows me to switch off mentally as well, which I actually find so hard to actually do anyway. And I find, yeah, I'm able to like lay there and completely just relax. So I feel like it does more for me mentally and at the same time physically too, because I always walk out of there feeling fresh instead of like completely beat up. They obviously work on the whole of your body as well, literally from head to toe, and everything works in our bodies, you know, together. So if you've got a tight bicep, you might have a tight finger. That's just well, it could be true, I guess. I don't know, I'm not a physiotherapist, it's out of my remit. But yeah, that's the reason why I go for Thai massage each week, just to stay on top of recovery. And like I said, I do train one day on, I do train one day on, one day off. So I will be training tomorrow. Therefore, if I go in for a hardcore massage, how am I going to recover and be able to train properly tomorrow? I'm not. So yeah, that's the reason why Thai massage is actually the one for me. Anyway, I have like 2 minutes to get there. I have got some more steps luckily. So hopefully I should only have about 3k left. But I've kind of got to get back and jump straight on the podcast. So yeah, let's do it.
We'll just talk about the event. We'll talk about the upcoming Fit Model show, and then we'll go to the questions.
Amazing.
Just been random chat.
Welcome to my YouTube, by the way.
Hey!
Yeah, so it's all started again. Kerry, I know you got a question.
Yeah, so I guess a question that I've been asked, a question that I've been wondering as well, is do you see that there's going to be any shift in direction within the bikini division based on the fit model division being out, or is it just same kind of goes? Can we expect that we might get away with a little bit more muscle, a little bit more condition, or anything like that, or is it kind of just that's still the same?
The standard should be the same. There's no intention to push bikini any further or to continue have it growing. The requirements are the same. So, anything that's too hard, too full, too hard, too big would still be marked down, and still just the same aesthetic would apply for bikini. That's as far as I've heard. And honestly, I think that's the best move just for the federation, is just keep everything where it's at. And this way we have divisions for every body type, every goal, every physique is covered in this way. And I think if we let bikini go too much further, then the gap between fit model and bikini is pretty big. Yeah. So it wouldn't be, it would take a big leap to go from one to the next. Whereas now they're a little closer together.
Yeah. I guess another question is, are you seeing a big difference between European athletes to the US athletes, and what kind of difference is that? And that's headed towards bikini.
That's a great question. I think the gap has narrowed. Typically in the past, in European athletes were a little bit harder. We saw more conditioning in Europe, which is impressive, but it's not the criteria. And then also, when we see these athletes take the Olympia stage, or maybe even come to the US to compete, where there's just more athletes and bigger shows sometimes, it doesn't do as well. So luckily, I think we've seen a lot more European athletes that are understanding that and achieving the standard that isn't quite so hard and shredded. And then also we're seeing European athletes compete in the States, so they get that actual real-time experience next to other athletes that have the conditioning, say, that they should be shooting for, or the muscularity they should be shooting for. I've seen tremendous improvements in the last couple of years, for sure, which is why we're seeing European athletes that are just repeatedly winning shows, and they're coming to the States and winning shows, which I think is a real testament to how everyone's aligning.
So it is 6 p.m. and I actually managed to do some bits when I got home from the massage before the podcast, which was amazing. We had Becky Clausen on, and it was super insightful. Tried to record just a little bit, so there should be a little snippet on here. I only have 1.5k or something to get anyway, so it's not the end of the world. Just getting a bit in now before we obviously wind down for bed. We do go to bed at 8:30, so looking forward to having my last meal, which is carbs. Again, love that. But today's not been so bad, if I'm honest. 3 meals, no carb, and it just feels good. Like I said earlier, just feels good to be digging. I'm sure you're going to see me on here at some point saying I'm hungry and I'm tired and all that kind of stuff, but really there's 5 weeks to go. It's my choice at the end of the day, and I always remind myself of that. Dieting, is hard. It's hard to keep up with all the things in life as well, because it doesn't stop on prep, but we learn to get better, and that's the thing what I always focus on as well. Just staying blessed, really. It's not the end of the world. I've done preps before where back in the day, before there was a lot of education that there is now, which is a blessing, and a curse sometimes, because there is a lot on the internet, isn't there? But I've done 700-800 calorie diets, 2 hours cardio, all that kind of stuff. And I think that makes you a lot more resilient when you've had to dig super hard, because you always think like it could be worse. And this is actually not. This is nothing, is it, for 5 weeks? There's people in the world that can't even eat, for goodness sake. So I always just try and remind myself that the next meal is around the corner. So if you're someone that is new to this, you're on a similar setup to me. Obviously, not every person is the same. Some people will be able to run carbohydrates and fats at high amounts through every meal throughout prep. I've definitely had clients where I'm like, this is mad. But we are all different. Some people do need to go a lot lower. Just depends on your process and where you're at. And I think that's something that I want you guys to take away from my YouTube, that obviously what I'm doing, it doesn't look probably so fun or appetizing because my diet is very limited. But like I said, like, it's not the same for everyone, and quite often you can have fun foods still with your creamies and your whey and all that kind of stuff, yogurt and whatnot. You can have it on prep. My prep is very different, like I said, but that doesn't mean that that's the case for everyone. So if you are watching my channel and you're thinking, well, I still got this, that and the other and whatever, or my calories are higher or my calories are lower, like, just remember that the journey is very much different and based very much so on the individual person. So yeah, that's my ramble. I'm gonna get the rest of these steps, touch base with my clients again for one last time today before I do switch off from work, because it is really important to have a good bedtime routine. I am someone that does find it really difficult to switch off, so implementing my pre-bed routine and actually having time to sit down with Mark and then just kind of eat, enjoy the evening, watch some TV with our blue light blockers on and get myself, you know, ready for bed, essentially, to wind down, is super important. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to pick the camera up again tonight, so I'm gonna leave it here. Peace out and good night.